All right. All right. So okay, these are my slides. Oh gosh, there. When we started with advanced operators, we looked at the itinerary of what we need to learn. And the ones that we did so far was just file type with a colon sign. There are many others, and we got done with a round operator also. So I'm going to start with what works with the type of advanced operator that specifically query the content which resides inside of the HTML text. So having said this, I've created a problem for you. I know that you don't want to have anything to do with HTML tags or the program called HTML. None of that is of interest to you. But there are few attributes or few technicalities which is absolutely essential for us to recognize, understand, and somewhat get a sense of how that technology connects with the advanced operators. So, in that sense, we will just touch upon what the HTML tags contain and what is actually read by the search engine in order for it to organize its indexing of those pages. So, how does that connect? Three operators that we'll be talking about exclusively, which is going to query the content page, is in title, in text, and in URL. These three are perhaps the most important operators in advanced search, and they have versions or two flavors of each that go hand in hand. One is, say, in title colon, the other is all in title colon. Then we've got in text colon and all in text colon, in URL colon, and all in URL. So there are like six of them. But the moment you see the blending of adding the all as a word to any of these operators, all will remain consistent and would have the same properties in all in title, all in text, and all in URL. So if we learn one as an example with all in title and what all adds to the flavor, that should be sufficient for you to understand what all in text and all in URL means. So I'm just giving you a heads up, a little bit of something that would lead us to or how we are going to tackle these. We'll be looking at the parts of the page and understand where these operators work. So I have a bunch of slides here, and I'll pick and choose because we cannot run many of the same, or there is just the same slides, but the idea is expressed in three, four different ways. So that's why I have to choose. Now, are you can you recollect or connect with the slide that I already ran, I think few classes ago, like two classes back, about what the page or typical page of a or a web page looks like. Is this something that you want me to repeat? I can do that for the sake of making sure that since this concept is important, we can't go further unless we go through this again. The silence means that I should repeat this part, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay. Now, the typical web page, any web page that you're looking at, it's made up of HTML program. HTML is the coding that is responsible for ensuring that the page appears to you as a user-friendly, nicely laid out, and easy to read pages. That's what is coming up in front of you only because there is a coding behind which is saying that when we create something in that program, the idea is for it to project that on the web for the user to look at. So a program is what is responsible or what creates the logic and creates the idea or creates the nice layout, the colors that you get to see, the content that is fitted into boxes, the multimedia files, and all the action that is happening on that page is coming to you because the coding behind it is making it appear so for easy and more likable layout. Now, HTML is the coding system which is read by the search engine. Search engine would not understand the outcome of that coding or what the coding or what the coding projects. Like for example, when we as a user is looking at a web page, now this is just an example, an illustration of a typical web page. This is what we are looking at. But when the search engine is indexing those pages, it is reading the code, it is reading the content and everything that is textual and multimedia related and formats of the files. All those are contained in the code or the HTML code. And just to give you an example, and I'll tell you why we are interested in that. But let me just finish up this slide first. So typically, a page, a content page or a web page is got three different portions, or the layout of it is such that there is one portion that is called the header that contains the logos, the top navigations and all those that you see that remains constant. Whichever page you go to on that domain or on that website, you will notice the header remains the same. Okay. And even the footer remains the same. Remember how you have noticed the footer has got like terms of use, policies, and few other things, but is also a constant feature of that website. But what changes or what is appears as dynamic in moving from one page to another from the content perspective is the middle portion, this part. Okay, you can call this a body of text. This portion in the middle is body of text, and this is where we have to see that the since the bulk of the content, may it be textual or any other format, is inside of the body of text. If we have to do a deep search into those pages to match with your search terms that you're putting in your address box, it will do a deeper search if you direct that search to go and look for those pages and and find the pages that contains that matching term inside the body of the text, not in the header portion, not at the bottom. So you will use an operator called in text colon. We'll talk more about that later. But just so that you understand the importance of the portions which contain more of the information versus less of the information, you can make a choice of how you want the terms to be searched, whether they should be searched deeper into through the body of text, or or you want something simpler to be matched which remains or which is really the title of something, or the title of the page, or the type of information that tells the or gives the grand picture of the website, like what the website is about, what are the keywords, what are some of the important uh, statements or description that reflects on what the website is supposed to be, what is the objective of that website. So that smaller portion of information which gives a wider idea of what it is about is embedded or coded behind this header portion, or this header that you are looking at uh, contains on the coding side, which is the only thing the search engine is capable of reading, is the title and some other attributes which I just mentioned to you. So it gives a grand view, gives a general or overall view of what that site is about, and perhaps what that page is about. So you're going to query something short like a title, where the only operator that will remain and that will only drill into the header portion for that title statement is called in title colon. So in the moment you're going to make a choice of using in title colon, it will avoid looking at what the content is inside of the body of text. I'm not going to talk much about the footer because it's not as relevant. So the body of the text will be ignored, and in title will only query those type of textual statements that is specific to the header portion, and those specific type of text is contained in the in the coding, or in the tags. The tags are labels basically. I'll explain that to you now, what that means. Now, the head, let me get out of this one. There is another better slide. So I'm going to make my choice of what I'd like to run to make it easier for you to understand. It's not in this one. Okay. I have it here. So take this one as an example. Now imagine that this is a web page. Okay. And in this web page, we have the top portion, which is the header portion, and then this is the body of text. And you could see that there is a marking of what is embedded or what is shown in on those pages. So typically there is an image here, there is a logo, so there's all sorts of uh, could be descriptive or just the photos, images, and so on. So there is a mix of it, and it is actually just pointing, these boxes are pointing that this is text heading, this is text heading, um, you know, video file. So all sorts of files are contained in the page. Now, let's look at what is in the header portion. In the header portion, you could see what is responsible for making the header become active and become or appear as it is shown here is the coding. And the coding is shown or is given in a simplest format. It is showing on this side where I'm pointing the arrow. What this coding does is that it has containers, or it is got something called tags which describe or which are labels that says the what type of text is embedded in that code. For example, there is a description tag, okay, which is talking about the overall description of the site. Then you've got title tags, which is talking about what the title statement is. So inside of the title statement, you will see the bold statement, which talks about what the site is titled. Then there are these. So these are called tags that you're looking at: the head, link, body. You don't have to learn them. This is just for explaining. What is important is what gets embedded in these. Mm, What gets embedded in these, like this one is an example of a title tag. What title tag is doing is, first of all, it is saying what the main caption of the site is. It is showing becoming certified internet research specialist, and all this is a statement which is embedded in tags called title. Then there is another tag that is called base href, which contains the link or the URL. Then we've got tags which are inside the body of text, which is in the middle portion. Those are different tags when you compare them with the tags or the tags in the uh, header portion. So, what is important tags or what are the labels will identify what type of search you're doing or what could be the best selection of the operator. Will it be in title or would it be in text? That's the general idea, but I would like to go back to the same slide, which I'm going to show you. I guess this has the same slide, so I'll run it here. So, so what is shown here is the snippet. We'll start with the snippet. The snippet has URL, title, and description area. And then when you click on this, you will see the web page, which is kind of behind. It's denoted by B. And what is responsible for making the page to appear as it's shown is the coding behind that uh, page, which is shown in C. So what we will will be trying to find is how is this information pulled that is appearing in the snippet, or what makes the snippet. So at the time of indexing, the search engine would start to pluck out or start to make a more granular assessment of certain types of data tags or these tags that we call HTML tags that is holding the information. For example, there is a tag called keywords. Now, keywords is holding all the keywords that are embedded in the coding, but these keywords are not going to be shown in the snippet. What is shown in the snippet is a tag called description, for example. Now, description tag contains all this information that is pulled and shown in the description part. This is the description portion. So this is pulled from the HTML code from the tag name description, and it is shown in the description area of the snippet. Then the title part, which is Association of Internet Research, is embedded in the title tag. You could see that these are named. These are name tags. And what is contained inside of it is this information, which is pulled and displayed in the title of the snippet. The third element of a snippet called URL is the information that is pulled from a tag called href. So the the information that is displayed on the snippet is typically pulled from these major tags. And when we have to run the search, we can use in title to match the terms which is actually matched in the for the statement within the title tag. And the title tag is usually very small, short title statement. They are not very lengthy sentences or partial sentences. It should be something that looks, appears, and sounds like a title of something. Because if you're going to run in title and you use certain wordings which are, as I mentioned, are not typically title statements, you will get null results. So selecting when you could use in title or when you can use other tag instead of in title, that is the idea, or that is the knowledge that you need to have with the understanding of what could be matched or where it is going to operate on those content pages. Okay. Now, the other part is the in-text. In-text means that you want, I have to break out of this slide and then take you to the other one. So let's suppose I have to search for something within the body of text, which is, statements, longer sentences, wordings that would be in one para, and the other set of wordings can be in the third para or in the deeper text on that page. We will have to understand that what is considered or what is held as important information in the index, because index is where you're going to where the search terms are matched, or index is what really makes a certain information available for your search terms to match with. So, knowing that there are certain selective important tags within the body of text that actually are considered more important for matching reasons and therefore indirectly are linked to the ranking of those pages as well. Uh, to get a better sense of what is considered important, for example, are the headings in the HTML pages. So what represents headings are tags like H1 is for, main captions, H2 is for the subheadings, H3 is for the subheading to the subheading. And so there is hierarchical, statements which appear to be headings of some sort or subheadings. Those tags are important, so they are separated at the time of indexing, and this is where your query using in text comes into play, which is separate from in title. In title, I explained to you. In text is now going to work in the body of text. Again, the title or in title query is linked to the information or the HTML tags that are responsible for the header portion. Okay. Whereas the in-text colon is responsible for doing deeper searches, but mainly would hit the information or match the information that is contained in certain types of tags that I'm explaining to you are of most or are given higher weightage or higher importance for matching reasons. Okay. So I explained to you H1, H2 is Anthony, okay, just came in. Then we've got a tag called P, which is for paragraph. It will go first, it's going to look at the headings. If it doesn't have the matching words there on that page, it is going to go deeper into the paragraph and look at the wordings within paras and will continue like that. So that is important. Then there is a time tag, which is a date and a time stamp. You can do a search for date and timestamp using in text. If the tag says that certain wordings are given emphasis, or they are highlighted in bolded colors, or they are emphasized because they have a font which is strong, it is an indication there must be something important. So the search engine puts that in the index, giving it a marking as of higher importance for preference in matching the terms with the wordings that are in strong fonts. And so it continues. There is articles, there is source, the multimedia source if you're querying multimedia, and so on. So anything that is contained in the body of text is made up of certain type of tags which are addressed, recognized, and kept as important saved information of that page. When you run a query using in-text colon, it is going to activate this mode for the search to go and do deeper searches on those pages that are indexed. So we have a choice between using in title or using in text based on the type of search we are doing. If certain searches require putting in long sentences, portion of the query, portion of the wordings that are not well articulated, or could be part of the para, or could be few words within different paras on the same page, you would make a better choice by selecting in text colon and not use the in title. Okay. So that is the under the hood situation of understanding where this information, first of all, is fetched, and it's coming and presented in the snippet format, number one. And number two, making a better selection of using either in title or in text. We have not talked about in URL yet. So let's stick to in text and in title. We will run some examples of these. And even before we do that, I am going to give you a link for you to listen to for 5 minutes. It's a recording, it's a video recording. I already have opened it somewhere here. So I'll copy and paste it in your chat box. So if you can please, there is this annoying ad which you have to bear with. But basically, the one I'm sending you is going to talk about the in title, and then there is another video which is going to talk about in text. I made these videos only for you to get a refresher with what we have learned so far. So I'm putting it in the chat box. Can you please copy and paste this link and start to play it on your side? And after you're done with it, well, first of all, you can go through this one, and then continue with a break of like 10-15 minutes. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay. So once you get done, give it another 10 minutes, and that's when I'm going to come back. This will run for 6 to 7 minutes. All right. First of all, can you copy and paste it? If any one of you can tell me, is it running on your side? All good? Hey, Anthony.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. All right. So we are all good. I'm going to leave you all alone. I'll see you in a little bit then. Okay. Enjoy the video. Hello, I'm back. How is it coming along? Everyone, did you finish up the video? It has a
Yes.
lot more information than that's the basic one that we covered. So I'm going to cover the rest of it that you saw. So all good. You got the video running. Hiromi, you were having
Yeah,
problems?
yeah, I couldn't hear anything. You couldn't turn up the volume too much. So
Hmm. Was volume a problem for everyone?
No, I had no problems.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, let me take you back to the indexing when we learned about how the indexing happens and how the search engine pulls the information or strips the information out of the pages and starts to organize it for indexing purposes. It generally starts like this, and this is just repeating what we learned already. So what happens is that here you can see in this slide, when the search is reading those pages that it's collecting constantly, it is at the same time indexing them. And at the time that they index it, they would read the code, or they're reading the code that is responsible for those pages to appear as they do for the user. So the type of information that is collected, you will see that initially, or the first stop of the information is the meta layer, or the meta type of information that is in the tags called meta tags or the title tags. So the title tags, for example, over here, becoming a certified internet research specialist benefits, all of this is collected from the title tag, and this is where we are focusing on right now for using the in title as the um, as the operator. So for the first thing to notice is that the title tag is most important for the search to first of all identify what the site is about and what the title of the page is. Now, title of the pages are of two types. One is what we call meta title, which is what you're seeing right now in front of you. But at the same time, there is a non-meta title tag also. What non-meta tells is that while the header portion contains the title tag or the meta title tag, the non-meta title uh, is going to describe the different pages or the body of text, what that body of text is all about. Whereas the meta title tag is talking about the entire site, or what the domain is all about, or what that website contains as its offering for products and services. All that is in the meta tag or meta title tag. And then there is the other one, which is describing different pages or what those pages contain. Right now, in title is going to query the meta title tag. Okay. So let's see the example. Now, yes, another thing I was looking at, just to give you an idea, okay, about the reality of how it is embedded, or this, where to find this information, or where it's pulling it to bring it to the title part of the snippet. Where is it? I'm going to take you to an example over here. So for example, if we start with, or we searching for, let's take this example. Let's say that this is the page that I want to get to, and that my query would be AOFIRS membership application. This is what I need. And this uh, appears as a title statement. Okay. So this is the main page, and it is a short but effective wording that describes the type of page you want to go to. So you're going to write in title colon, without leaving any gaps. You continue with A of IRS membership application. So if I wrote it this way, what I end up getting is these results. And when I click on this page, it is going to open up like this. So this is the page I'm getting to. Now to see where this information that is shown right here, where it is coming from, obviously coming from this page, but the search engine actually did not read the page as it is shown here, but it is reading the code which I opened up. And I'll show you how I opened this up, and you can do the same. Any page that comes in front of you, and if you want to go under the hood to see the coding part where the information is, I'm just using it, or it's to you don't have to do it, but it is just to show you exactly how the information is getting pulled from the title text or the meta title text. So when I do right click, I get this drop down box and I make a choice of view page source. When I do that, it is going to open up the backend or the coding side of the page, and it opens up invariably every single time in any of the web pages. So they're not, it's not like they're hidden. So let's suppose that this is the code. You don't have to worry about, all these lines over here, and just don't think of it to be a complex you know complex collection of the tags. But let's suppose this opened up and I want to search for the title tag. I'm just going to go right click. No, I'm sorry, Control F. And then I put the word title just to find the title tag in there. So let's suppose the first instance, you could see that this is the title tag on line 19. And it starts over here with the less than and greater than sign. That means this is where the title tag or any tag is beginning. And when the tag ends, you could see the backslash. That's the only addition. Still less than and greater than sign. Whatever is the textual part embedded inside of these tags is the type of information which is identified by the word title, as if the it is labeled for the uh, the search engine to pull that information from whatever is written inside of these tags. So if membership application become a member dash AOFIRS exactly how it is shown here, you can see that it is appearing just the same. Membership application become a member dash AOFIRS exactly as it is shown in the title of the snippet. Okay, so here you can track it. This showing over here somewhere. And it is actually coming from the snippet. So even if this statement is not showing exactly how it is written in the title part, but it is found in the title tag. So this is another kind of a indicator that the search engine reads the title portion or the tags only, and it's not going to pick things or the statements, or there's no guarantee that the same statement when you navigate to that page is going to appear on that specific page that we call landing page. So in this landing page, this information is not laid out as it is shown in the title, but it is read because it is read from the title tag. It is definitely found inside of the title tag in the coding side or on the HTML part. So um, this is where you will see this in the snippet. Okay. Is this clear for everyone?
Yes, yes.
Majdi, what say you?
Yeah, I'm following.
Joanne?
Yeah,
Yes, Majdi, go ahead.
well, I've got a question which is
Hmm.
related to the code itself, but
Hmm.
linked to the operator file type. I experienced a query, and it's got me puzzled, let's say. So what I did, as you mentioned, uh, file type : PDF, and then I put minus PDF, but I still get to documents. I still get documents that I can access. So it's related to what we are talking about. What I mean by that, I thought the file type as well, PDF, it's also linked to a code, yeah? HTML code.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you told us the last session, when we do, for example, minus PDF, it's gonna remove the word PDF from the body of text, the link, and the title, yeah? But even when I did that minus PDF and added to its file type PDF plus, let's say, a term like travel, I still get documents, PDF documents. So I thought, how come file type PDF is still accessible while I added minus PDF? So
So
that's
what minus PDF is doing is that it is not ignoring the link part, which is got the extension .pdf uh, on those pages. So it is bringing the PDFs. But when you do minus PDF, it is treated as a word and not part of the sentence or part of the link. The word PDF, even if it is, let's say, a part of any word, let's say, the word has PDF in it, it is just going to ignore that. It's not going to bring that, but it will include the word PDF. Uh, no, it will include the extension .pdf. That's why you keep seeing the PDF files, is because it is not considered part of the link, but it is considered part of the word. So in the document itself, it will not say PDF, but the link that is taking you to the PDF is what is causing confusion, because the .pdf is an extension and it is not ignored by a minus sign. That's what is happening. If you first of all, nobody writes minus PDF. If you want to get rid of something that is excluding PDF, write minus file type : PDF. Why write minus PDF as a word? That was just to show you an example of when you have to exclude something that should be non-PDF, then use minus file type PDF. If you want to treat the PDF as a word, then you use minus PDF. But nobody uses minus PDF. That's just to explain to you that the minus sign without using the file type will only work as if it is excluding the words, not the file type or the extension .pdf. So you never use the minus PDF, you will get uh, a lot more results that way, you know, because PDF will keep coming, PDF file will keep coming, but the PDF as a word will be excluded. So there is a possibility that because you keep getting the PDFs is because it's not looking at .pdf as an extension, and that's why it's bringing the PDF files.
yeah. Actually, when I saw the link of the documents that appear as a PDF. It doesn't contain the word .pdf at the end, but sometimes I find download in the link. It's written just download. It's interesting. I mean, that's why I was wondering how it links to the code.
I don't know
Uh,
if you're saying that the PDF is coming or if you're saying that the PDF is not coming. Ideally, if it is treated as a Word, it will not show those pages. If it is treating it as a file type with a minus sign, then it will not show the PDF totally, like anywhere. So there could be files which are, that contain the word PDFs, but because you've put a minus sign, it's not going to show you. Maybe you will get less results because of that.
Thanks.
Extensions versus words, two different things for the search engine. If it is going to treat PDF as a word, it is going to exclude it from everywhere. If it is going to treat PDF as a part of the word, those pages will be missed out. But if the idea is to just not bring the PDF files, then why bother with minus PDF? Just use file minus file type : PDF.
Yeah.
Okay, so when will you use in title mostly? What would be the conditions of using in title? Since you saw the video, it has given you few examples that says that if you have a long sentence, something that is typically not part of the in title or not part of the title of pages, like there could be a partial statement. I don't know. There was this example that we included in the video. Did you see that one where the wordings were not part of the title? For instance,
Yes.
let me see if I can look for that example, if it is in the title tag. See, if I put wordings, now let's just focus on the wordings. We just want to be, we want to be perfect in our way of handling the in title operator in situations that can, that would include those as part of the title statements. So let's suppose I put something which is not part of the title statement, like I can't guarantee if it is not used anywhere else in the title, but let's suppose I put latest best practices. In fact, this is also very common in the title. Let's take material for online research. Any statement. Let's say I just pick this one and I use in title and I put these could be part of these statements. Work as, not the best example. I think we have the examples in the notepad. Let me try those. This one. Let's go to the home page. And let's say no other structured curriculum. This is a small part. I'm not sure if it is going to be part of the title statement somewhere, but I'm assuming that it may not be. No other structured curriculum. It sounds like it can't be part of the title. So if I use this as an example and I use in title colon, will it show or will it bring any results? I doubt it. No other structured curriculum because it's a kind of non-title statement. I get no results. But if instead of in title, I use in text, I will surely get something. Why? Because in title, you see this, you can see the way it is structured, it is written, it doesn't sound like it could be part of the title because first of all, it's a incomplete statement. And if it is to be completed, it may be a very long sentence sounding from how it is written inside the quotes. And therefore, it may not be the uh, best operator to use. But let's suppose I, instead of in title, I use in text. In text is going to do deeper search. It is going to go in the body of text and it will look at non-title statements, which could be in paras, every bit of text that is in the body of it or the body of text that will be queried. And so if I write it as in text, I get my results coming. And it is actually coming from the same page. No other structured. This was the page. So if you used in title and used the statement, as I mentioned, like this one, it is not going to work. Similarly, if it is a very long uh, sentence or a long search phrase and typically not part of the title statement. By the way, so you know, the search engine is very finicky about the number of words that you place in certain tags. Like, sir, there are tags like title tags that are not meant for you to put very long sentences. Title is supposed to be short statement, powerful enough or be complete enough that it tells about, you know, what those that site is about and what that site includes. So to get that sense, you need a title statement and that is restricted for the number of words. So when the programmers are doing their coding part and they're constructing the title tags, they don't make it very long sentences. The search engine would not index them properly or would just give them a very low ranking. There'll be a negative marking for those pages. And the in-text, as you saw that this was working for this statement, even though it was incomplete because, you know, it was originally pulled or this information was pulled. I don't know where I pulled it from, but it was pulled, yeah, from here. So it actually acted on the deeper text and it did go and look it up in the P tag, which is the para tag. So it went from the heading tag H1 or H2, whatever the naming is given to this, to the P tag and searched it and found the exact match. So when you are looking for, let's say, book titles, author, movies, or something that has a title statement, or something that you want to go to as a short form of information like FAQs, which means frequently asked questions, you can use in title. You can use it, you know, downloads as we did. You can go to the downloads directly for something not every file is downloadable. Maybe you want to use that or the password or the main website name, you can use in title for that. But if you are to do a search for missing or matching something like internet search, for example, with something to do with membership also highlights this dedication, or something which is, in different paras, that could be in this para or this para, or, anywhere, but could be three different terms for coming from or to be matched in three different paras here. You can use in text, and you can use multiple instances of in text. Similarly, in title, you can use multiple instances of in title. One of the things that is important to understand that in title queries, um, for instance, if I take number 6 as an example, and I want to use let's say I have used multiple instances of in title, and I want the in title to actually include the word internet, the word search engine, and the word index. Um, I can also write the query 6 as 6.1, and there is a reason for it. I'll explain that. I can also write the same query as all in title. This one. So 6.1 will be the same as 6, whereas 6.2 will not be the same as 6.1 or 6. Okay. This is the convention which I'm explaining to you that will go a long way, and it will work the same with the in text and in URL. Okay. So first of all, let me just magnify it a little bit, zoom it in. Okay. And to back this up, I'm going to also share the slide with you that has this example. Let's see the difference between in title and all in title. So when we write in title, colon internet search engine, these are 4 words. Okay. But whatever you are going to place after the colon sign as a first word, and we haven't put anything within quotation marks. So these are just 4 words, but we have put them one next to another as if it is one single search phrase. So in title, internet search engine index means that the title part of the snippet should contain at least the word internet, because it is attached to the colon sign, or it is coming right after the colon sign. So the first word that is going to be present after colon is a mandatory return. That means it's not an option for the search to ignore the word internet. But the words that follow after the word internet, search engine, or index, all 3 of them is a choice for the search engine to include in the title part. It is a choice because we have used in title versus and not all in title. And when we look at the difference, you will see what gets returned. So as a result of this search, we saw that the search engine preferred to give or bring results that has the word internet surely and then the word search engine. But it has dropped the word index from the title tag. Now, if it appears in the description part, the word index, that is something different, which means it attempted to find it first in the title part. If it didn't, it looked for pages that also contain, besides these three words, it also contains the word index in the body of text. This part is pulling information from rest of the body of text, whereas the top portion is pulling the words from the title tag. So if the title tag is to bring the results, or if you want the results to include all of these, these words in the title part, you will do in title. When in title is executed, it drops the word index. It is not forced. But if I put internet search engine index within quotation marks, it will surely find all four of them, because then it becomes a one statement or a one search phrase. Okay. And then there is another way of ensuring that all four of these words are included in the title part, besides putting them within quotation marks. If we want to use instead all in title and we write all of these same wordings, it will bring all four words in the title part or in the title statement. Okay, it's just that all in title means that include all of these words in the title part. But because these four are not put within the quotation marks, it may also, but not in this case, but generally out, if you put all four of them within quotation marks, it will surely bring it as it is shown with the sequence in which they are set: first, second, third, and fourth word. But if you use all in title and put and do not put all four of them within quotation marks, the result would be that the title will contain one word like internet, not necessarily search engine followed by the word internet. Search may be another word somewhere here, index could be another word, but at the same time, it will ensure that all words are at least visible or are shown or are included in the title statement. So there is a difference in how you are going to get your results, putting, first of all, comparing it in title with all in title, and then to understand that if you put something within quotes or outside of the quotes, what could be the differentiator. Now, for example, now, because it is an example, so I'm not going to run the query. I just want to explain it a little bit better, because I can get a sense that there is a bit of a confusion. So let's just suppose, first of all, let's make things easy. In this query, all in title is equal to, or it is the same as, it is the same as this. So if you put all in title, you can compare it with in title coming four times, or four instances of in title is equal to all in title as one search query with one operator. This should be clear now.
Yes, but you still have to put those words in quotes, right? If you want to
This
be
is what I'm
sure.
going to do next.
Okay.
No, doing not just doing the conceptualizing the two um, options. So if I
Okay.
do it like this, yeah, let's just put them within quotation marks. I don't know how to say not equal to. Okay, so let's call it A and B. So in B, what you will notice in B, you will notice that as soon as I put this term within quotation marks, it is not no longer equal to the 4 times putting in title in one search query. Okay. Why? Because now let's do the C. So to make it equal, what could make it equal? Let's look at that when we use quotation mark.
If you put all of the end titles in quotation marks.
No, I'll show you this. See this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So search engine. Now both are equal. This means to keep the integrity and sequence in terms of integrity of the sequence of these words as if they are one single search phrase. So literally this is one term, and when you use in title and again you have used the quotation marks enclosure, it is also the same as um, all in title is because they are going to maintain that sequence of wordings and appear um, as it is shown in the title portion. So there is no reason for you to use all in title um, versus there is no there is not this is not a matter of choice. Basically, both will work the same. So C would work the same, and in D, let's suppose this is it's not a puzzle, it's just literally a concept. It's a not a now this is another one that I'm going to do. Let's suppose I have all in title. So if I use it like this, then is not equal to, okay. So why this is different? Now, when you are using all in title and you put two search terms literally in all in title, and you use in title here as if you are asking this. Now the difference is that in using in title instead of all in title, this will become one search term which has to be returned, but at the same time Google search is not enforced. So in the in title, it may bring the title statement in the snippet that has a mandatory return internet search engine index because it is coming after the colon sign. and that becomes mandatory, but the other term, which is Google search, might be dropped. Okay. So that's the difference when you're using in title. But when you're putting all in title, as you could see, that it will make sure that the title statement has both of these search terms in there. All means include everything that is coming after the colon sign, not leaving any choice for the term to be dropped. All is everything coming after the colon sign. In title only would ensure the presence of those words that are coming right after the colon sign, but anything that is extended beyond that is not a guaranteed return. So if we want to make both equal or to function equally well as if they can be swapped or they can be substituted, then this is what needs to be done. Now see the difference between in E versus D. It is also somewhat similar to this. Just look at it carefully and see the similarities. Majdi, you
Yeah,
there?
I'm here. Yeah, actually, it's identical. Yeah.
Hmm?
I mean, I can notice that the first search query, Internet Search Engine Index, and Google Search does not need to be in the same order. You can have even some words in between in the title. Yeah.
Yes, 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 you can.
Yeah.
No,
So
no, but yeah, that's one thing. But the main thing that I'm trying to get you to understand is that when you use all in title, everything that comes after the colon sign, including the word internet, including the word search engine index, all of these have to be present in the title statement, but not necessarily in the same order or in the same sequence. So that is all in title, which is also the same as breaking the four words to attached with multiple instances of in title command. You would see that all four words would be present just the same as in all in title, except all in title, and as in all in title they may not be in the same sequence, or they may not be in the way in which it should be worded as a single search phrase. So they are fragmented. Their presence is guaranteed in A, just like all in title. The in title guarantees all four words to be present in the title statement, but not necessarily in the sequence in which you would like them to appear. Okay. So all in title and in title can be written, all in title can be written as multiple instances of in title, which makes it as good or as equal to the same equation to give the same results. So this is what the situation is with A. Okay. And then I also try to explain in D and E the multiple search terms with the quotation enclosure, which guarantees the sequence to be maintained as in all in title over here. But when you use multiple, when you use it the way it's written with two terms coming after the in title, it does not guarantee the word Google search to be included in the in the title part. However, if you want to convert it or make it equal to the all in title, you could see that E is trying to make use of in title and to make it equally good or make it deliver the same results. So this result, which is using all in title, can only equal to the same result using in title if you format it or if you use this format, okay, which is using the in title twice.
Yeah.
Look at it carefully. It's not as difficult as you are thinking, because we have done so many examples, equal to, not equal to, and you look at the similarities and dissimilarities and try to make the best judgment. It's easier explained this way between from A to E, no other way to do it. I have also given you the video, so if you'd like to look at the video, you will be able to also, get this concept clarified. Okay. Wanted to give it a pause so you can review it. In the slides, there could be, yeah, here. Okay, so this gives you one concept, just a plain vanilla outline of how in title and all in title are different. Okay, so there's nothing much in there. I'm just looking at some of these examples. You can see Donald Trump, it's an old one. So these are not anything that is new. But let's suppose might as well work with this. I've done this. Now, what was that statement? I remember the example of Steve Jobs. I think it was Steve Jobs speech. Was the speech? Let's call it Stanford. Just want to look for a speech that Steve Jobs gave in Stanford. And supposing I want to run this with in title, I would write Steve Jobs. Don't have to put them within quotes. He's famous enough together, so the search would know these two mean only one Steve Jobs. And then let's say I say um, I wrote something like this. Now run it in the search. This will work as an example. So let's suppose I'm going to do two types of search queries. One is this one, where I'm using in title, and then the other one, this is an additional example I'm giving just to make things clearer. So let's suppose I make two queries. One is structured like this, which I ran and we got successful results. So this was successful. I'll call it one, let's call it A, and this is B. Okay, so convocation. So let's suppose I have two search queries. In A, I did not put any of these within quotation marks. In other words, I'm saying for entitled to find at least the word Steve or Steve Jobs, it will connect automatically because it's famous enough together. And then whatever is rest of it as a sequence may not be found as a single search term. Like I haven't put Steve Jobs speech convocation Stanford in the quotation marks, but because I used in title, it would make its own choice to pick any combination of the words appearing after Steve Jobs, like speech, convocation, or Stanford. So that's what it is supposed to do. And because it becomes kind of a loose query, given that the search engine is has advantage of picking and choosing what to be included, it would definitely bring the results. But let's suppose you used in title and you put Steve Jobs' speech convocation within the quotes and separated Stanford as a choice. What's going to happen? You will get no results, or we got null results from doing it this way. And why? Because whenever you put some terms within quotation marks, it means that the sentence or the phrase has to be accurate, or it has to appear somewhere on these HTML pages. And if it doesn't appear as set here because of incorrect English or certain words that don't gel together, or are possibly not found in the same way that it is expressed here, you will get null results. But in title is definitely not going to work in this case. And the only, if you're getting somewhat these kind of results, then the best thing you will do is that, and because you don't know the sequence of whether a speech comes before convocation or convocation comes before speech, you don't know any of this. So in order for you to have it found in the title statement, and you're not sure if the statement is correctly written, then this is how you would proceed. You would ensure that Steve Jobs is there, and you want to include the words speech in the statement in the title part. You also want the word convocation to be included in the title, and you want the word Stanford to be included also. Okay, then this would be the best approach, the correct approach. Here, you are making sure the words that you know of, you can put within quotes, not a problem. You also don't know if this word speech comes before or after convocation. So you are going to, and you want it to appear in the title portion. So you're going to start to break it down into individual words without using the quotation marks enclosure. And just to ensure that it is going to be in the title portion, you have to use in title colon. So if you compare it with something that I'm about to now put together, if you compare it Now, if you compare C with D, what's going to happen? First of all, let me tell you, or let me write it down. C is not the same as D. Okay. So just know that, first of all, C is not the same as D. Um, why? Because when you are ensuring that the word Steve Jobs is going to be in the title part, but you also want to include in your return results words like speech, convocation, and Stanford, because you have obviously described them as a mandatory return with the quotation mark enclosure. What this will do is that this will not guarantee that the word speech, convocation, or Stanford is going to appear in the title. It can be in the description part, rest of the body of text, but not necessarily part of the title statement. So the difference in C and D is that while C is ensuring all four words are in the title, the D is not guaranteeing the word speech, convocation, or Stanford to appear in the title statement. However, it will guarantee the appearance of all of these three words to be part of the content page. Could be deeper text, it could be paras, captions, headings, but not necessarily in the title tag statement. Okay, so that's the difference between C and D. The drawback of using all in title, let's suppose if I had used let's suppose I pulled C from here, let's just call it 1, and I want use all in title. Here 1 and 2 are the same. However, there is one problem with all in title. Whenever you're using any of these operators that has the word all in them attached to their core or the root word that we are using, that all is going to do one damage though. It will not function with any other operator that you put in the same query. So for example, if I take 2 and I say to a minus sign, it won't work. Okay. If I use Berkeley, it won't work. If I use it won't work. So the problem with all in title is that it is not going to coexist with any other operator. It will just use only one instance of all in title to have an impact on anything that follows after the colon sign to be inclusive in your return pages. But it will not function, or it will not add an additional process triggered by more of the operators within the same query, just because all in title would not allow it. So just to make our search more flexible, we normally use in title, and we try not to use the all command. So even in text, with the all in text, the preference is to use in text rather than all in text, because we keep fine tuning the queries, we keep correcting the queries, and in order to do that, we use more operators just to stabilize that search command. And if you use all, and it's not going to allow that flexibility, and therefore may not be as practical to use. So normally we don't waste a lot of time in thinking if to use all or not, while we can use something without putting the all command in there to make it, more easier for us to play with. So we hardly use the all command with in-text, all in-text, or all in URL. Next thing is that if we want to exclude something from the title statement, we can use an exclusion. So by the way, there is no minus all in title, okay? So just keep that in mind. If I'm using these 4 instances of in title and I don't want the word Stanford to be part of it, can just use a minus sign. That's a usual command that is quite standard. Anything we want excluded, we're going to put a minus sign. So when I do minus in title, I'm saying to exclude the word Stanford from the title statement, not from the description part, not from any other body of text or the rest of the text that is not supposed to be um, supposed to respond to this command, or would not comply with the exclusion of Stanford. The only portion that would not include the word if a Stanford is the title statement or anything inside of the title tag. So if I want to uh, compare it with 2, which is when I get rid of the in title. Same thing, the PDF thing that we were talking about, Majdi was describing. So if I write, uh, I write query number 2 without using the minus in title and just put the word after the minus sign, you will get different results, because the idea here in number 2 is to exclude the word Stanford from everywhere in the return results. Shouldn't exist as a textual word um, in the body of text or a header portion or the footer portion. So this is an exclusion of the word from everything else, and you should get far less results compared to 1. 1 is only going to get rid of the word Stanford from the title tag statement. So that's pretty much as far as in title is concerned. We're going to do in text in the next class. In text is going to have you could say, the rules applied the same way as we did in title. So we don't have to repeat a lot of things, and the time that we will save, we will do some queries where we'll use a combination of in title with in text. There is a reason why we combine these two together, and that's what's going to make complex search queries. So while we are learning this, we are also tackling some of the complex searches. With whatever we finish up, we will do a few of the complex search queries as well. So that's what I'm going to do day after tomorrow. So for now, do you understand or have at least got a little bit of an idea of what we are trying to accomplish here? Hopefully. Okay, let me.
Yes.
So Anthony, it's yes for you. And for anybody
Yes.
else, if there's any question. Majdi, you're okay?
Yeah, in title is fine. Actually, I've got a question about in-text, but you said we are going to do it next time. It's just about the use of it. So I may wait for the next session, or I can ask it now.
There, I'll be grateful. Thank you. Let's just wait.
Yeah.
Patience always pays. The
I
thing
have a
about
question.
yes,
I'm sorry. We're at chapter 11 or 12 now, right?
I don't
In the
know.
book.
I just
Oh,
go by
okay.
the.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll check it. No problem.
I wrote the book though,
Yeah, I know.
That's why I don't care about, I don't even, it's just that it is so much of things in there that I keep jumping from one chapter to another. My focus usually, Anthony, is on concept and to, have, because I've got these references built in my mind on few things that may not exist in one chapter but have a significance or relevance with another chapter, or it could be a fifth chapter versus seventh chapter, but the connection that I make sort of bridges that gap, not being a stickler on the chapter numbers, but more focused on what could be more relevant to the subject matter that we are learning. And if there is any variant or variations or the next level of complexity that I can foresee, I would bring it to your attention as if it is a continuation of the same chapter when it's not. It's just so that the concept is cleared up all the way through, you know. So
Okay.
that's my approach. But I do remember the chapter. I'm kidding, but that's not as important. Okay,
All right.
so here is zero space ninth. Okay, I'm going to place this in the Dropbox. At least these notes you should practice with. These notes are made for a reason, because they'll make your life so much easier. Going through the book, it might be more complex. And there you could find something in one chapter, like I said, chasing after what is coming next, or what could be a major break in between that you will, disconnect with the original concept and then find something which actually you know of, but you can't really connect with. So to bridge that, these notes are going to be very useful. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to put this in your batch. Okay, so anything else that you have in mind I can help you with? Okay, the heck. Where am I? Class note 09, 1109. Okay, so let's call it a day for all of you, and wish you a pleasant evening or early morning for Mejdi, and I hope to see you day after. It's going to be on Friday, the next class. Right?
Okay.
Good enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
All right.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye bye.